How's it going, everyone? Nathan coming at you again with my most boring NPC ass clothing I've ever worn. I just feel like I gotta hit a T-pose every time I win a game today. Super boring sweats, but that's because today we're going to be doing some mono normal type laddering on the Monotype ladder. I counted all the votes you guys submitted. Thank you again. Please keep up the votes. It goes a long way, trust me. Plus, you get to see whichever types you want to see the most, because if we count it, it's actually a pretty even playing field right now. A couple are trying to separate themselves in the 20s in terms of votes, but not even close was normal with 35 here. So I'm going to reset that back to 0. Gonna do 2 lives with it, so this one, the next one. And I'll be honest, guys, I was kind of struggling when I realized I had to do a mono normal video, because I liked the idea. I've actually played it a decent amount, but up until very recently, I struggled with it. So I've been playing it a lot to kind of get ready for this live and kind of better establish what I consider the identity of mono normal to be. And I've come away with some conclusions, but also some disappointing realizations. So let's get into it. First of all, I think mono normal is really beginner friendly. I don't mean it to be remotely disparaging. I think if you're learning Monotype, or even if you're a newer player and you took my recommendation of trying Monotype as a result, it's a fantastic thing to go towards, because of the one thing that I always harp about, and it's gonna be matchups. If you are struggling to learn matchups and figure it out, this is a great way to start. Blissey is a do-it-all spadef tank. If there's any sort of like a Nidoking in, or a Tapu Lele, or whatever, just don't sweat it. Just go to your Blissey straight away. Go for seismic tosses, teleport out afterwards. No brainer, easy swap. If they have physical mons, beware. Unbelievable defensive mon. Look at these defensive stats: 120 HP, 80 physical defense. That's insane. However, when you take into account its special ability Fluffy, which most people don't know about, actually, that's another thing, is a lot of these Pokemon on the lower ladder don't seem to understand how these Pokemon work, like Heliolisk and Beware and Diggersby. So I was actually, when I started a second account and I was laddering it up to practice for this video, I was getting a lot of wins just on like lack of knowledge on my opponent's part. So you can take advantage of that if you're a beginner too. So Fluffy is going to reduce the damage of contact moves by half. So for example, a Scolipede tries to X Scissor a Beware, with these defensive stats, it would do maybe about 30%, which is, you know, pretty good tanking. It's doing a good job tanking that. And there's, by the way, no HP investment here, so it'd be even more. But with Fluffy, it's halved. It's just cut in half. So unbelievably good. You combine that with a couple of bulk up boosts, your drain punching to get all of your HP back. You can substitute on Toxics or Leaf Seeds or things like that. I think this is a really, really good set to take advantage of at least matchup and experience, but still just a solid physical do-it-all mon in general. It does not have the same recovery that Blissey and Porygon do, so you can't be like careless with it. But again, to sort of stress my point, oh, physical attacker's in, I'm gonna go to Beware. Unless, by the way, it is Cinderace, that is bad. Any fire mons, that Fluffy ability will double the damage from fire move. So, you know, God forbid you get it with a special fire move, you're toast. That's burnt fluffy hair. Do bears have hair or fur? Must be fur. Yeah, anyways, I digress. And sort of a do-it-all tank is going to be Porygon 2. Porygon 2, again, we talked about those defensive stats on Beware earlier. Quite good defensive stats, I would say. Porygon 2 nearly matches it, but then they get a straight 50% boost thanks to Eviolite. Eviolite is awesome, and it does work on Porygon 2. You get that Bolt Beam coverage between Discharge and Ice Beam, so you can always hit something for at least neutral damage. Teleport back out as a pivot, very good. Heliolisk is going to help you out a lot against your rain matchups, between Dry Skin tanking all water attacks, helping you heal in the rain, kind of combining with substitute. Once you substitute, you can almost substitute indefinitely on an opponent, but with Dry Skin giving you support. You can glare on speedy attackers behind the substitute. So let's say you're against a Pelipper, you predict that your opponent's Pelipper is going to swap out fearing this Thunderbolt. You can substitute. If they go to a ground type like Swampert, you can OHKO them with Grass Knot. If they go to a fast attacker like Barraskewda, you can glare them. It's really fantastic. Diggersby's gonna help you out against the Mono Steels and the Mono Rocks, because a disadvantaged matchup for Mono Normal is going to be against Steel and Rocks, because they resist your normal type attacks. But that's really not a concern for me. I don't think, do we have a single normal type attack on this team? We literally don't. We literally don't have a single normal type attack. So that's honestly, that type disadvantaged matchup I don't really consider. Sure, I guess Diggersby quick attack, that's something. But for the most part, Diggersby is not struggling to break these steel types and these normal types. Maybe you come against a Corviknight or Celesteela, but that's what Heliolisk is for. Body Press is a concern in those matchups, but you can't fix everything there. So Fire Punch can even tank some of those guys if they do go into that. It should be a 2-hit KO depending on the matchup, because Banded Diggersby, it's ridiculously hard. For those that don't know, huge power doubles your attack stat, which doesn't mean that it's like 113. The way that math works out is it's actually quite more than what it would double. So, you know, your quick attack is excellent speed control. And actually, speaking of speed control, perhaps the highlight of this whole team is going to be Ditto. Choice Scarf Ditto is fantastic. If your opponent's setting up on you with a Volcarona, for example, you go, okay, fine, you can take my Heliolisk. I'm gonna go to Ditto, copy your stat changes, and sweep you right back in return. Really handy mon. As far as Scarfers go, it's really versatile too, because this team does not have hazard removal, for example, which is a bit of a problem with a balanced team like this. But, you know, maybe you can go to your opponent's Mandibuzz, you copy it with a Ditto, you go for a Defog. So it's got a lot of flexibility, which I quite enjoy. Again, it's huge for stopping enemy sweeps going on against you. And this is another reason why I highlight Mono Normal as a good type to learn if you're a beginner. Because again, when I was playing low ladder, I was kind of stunned by how poorly people were playing around Ditto in general. I think it kind of takes a bit of a mind shift on how to play around it. You have to be careful. You can't, you know, let it come in for free. For example, Ditto can't copy it after you've substituted, so people wouldn't substitute at the right times and things like that. So Ditto, I think you definitely should play it, because that's the best way to learn how to beat it, is to use it yourself, because it's just a cliche, you know. Once you use it yourself, you go, oh, this Pokemon's not that good, it struggles in this and this situation, blah blah blah. And once you identify that as a user, you can take it to your advantage when you're against it. So that's a big thing. So yeah, all in all, I laddered up very quickly with this team. I hit a wall. You know, I do things beginner friendly, and if you're trying to like learn these matchups that I always stress, it's pretty straightforward. You know, Steel and Rocks, go to Diggersby. Flying and Rain, Heliolisk is going to be important for you. Special attacks, Blissey. Physical attacks, Beware. Sweeper, Ditto. Sort of a do-it-all. I don't know what to go to. I can go to Porygon. I need to pivot with that teleport and the fantastic defenses. Ditto's going to be your Porygon's going to be your go-to here. So really easy to learn from a match perspective. Oh, and I should also mention Ghost types, because Ghost types should be a flaw too, in the sense that normal type attacks don't affect Ghost types. But it's also vice versa, because normal types are immune to ghost type attacks as well. So it kind of works out to be a draw in theory, but again, we don't have normal type attacks on this team for the most part. So it's actually quite better. And the way that Mono Ghost works is it's kind of like Shadow Ball spam in a sense, right? You really want to wear down those counters over time. Bam, 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 and keep pressing them with your attacking Shadow Balls, or, you know, Phantom Forces or whatever. So that's actually way more to our advantage. So I will say that's the one advantage that Mono Normal has. But that's kind of the rub of it. You are fine in a lot of kind of balanced neutral matchups. You're not great, but you're fine in a lot of those matchups. But you really only have one that I would consider an advantage. That's Ghost, and that's kind of concerning. Whereas like even some of the worst, you know, typings like Bug. I don't think Bug is a terrible monotype typing, but in theory, you know, Bug still, you know, kind of smokes Grass, Psychic, and Dark. Like that's a distinct thing you can point to. You can say we destroy those matchups. That's an advantage we have. We really only have Ghost, and Ghost is popular, to be fair, so I shouldn't give it too much credit. But I've been kind of dancing around it the whole time. The worst thing for Mono Normal is absolutely going to be Mono Fighting. You have no swapping for it. If you want, you could do something like, you know, an Indeedee, which has this Mono Psychic, so you're neutral to fighting type attacks, or you could do a really tanky, oh, what's that mon called? It's terrible. Wigglytuff. You could stack up the defenses on a Wigglytuff and, you know, do this kind of thing, but still getting 2 KO by your average Terrakion, for example. Give it Draining Kiss, whatever. It's a huge problem. You have a really hard time dealing with fighting type attackers. So, and it's on the one hand, you go, okay, so like fighting type is a wash, fine. Everyone's got some bad type matchups. I can handle that. But it's also the fact that most fighting type mons are very common on other teams. So for example, you're gonna be hard pressed to find any fire team that doesn't include a Cinderace. Almost every Cinderace is going to be running high jump kick, so it's essentially a fighting type with a very high speed stat that last team, for example, that we had couldn't beat. You can go to your Ditto afterwards and copy it and try to threaten back out with your own transformed Ditto, but any smart opponent is going to swap out in that situation anyways. So that's the thing. Like, I was playing these low ladder games and I'd get into these terrible matchups, and I would get kind of away with it by my opponent misplaying and keeping in their critical fighting type mon and letting it die to my Ditto. And I was thinking, like, this would not work on a higher ladder, you know? So we probably will have trouble with that when we go into the actual games here today. But I just want to briefly run through, like, just for conversation's sake. So we go to fighting. Almost every bug type team is going to run on a Buzzwole, for example. Almost every water team, maybe not almost every water team, but lots are going to run an Urshifu Rapid Strike, if not a Keldeo. Flying teams, Zapdos Sklar is super common. Almost every rock type team you're going to come up against is going to have a Terrakion. A Terrakion eliminates Mono Normal. Komodo is not that uncommon on Dragon Team. Same goes for Cobalion. Beware, we have it in our own normal teams. Beware is so important when you play Mono Normal versus Mono Normal. I don't want to leave home without it. So you can see what I mean. These are all super common mons that make single matchups really tough. You can't swap into it. And if your opponent's playing it right, it's going to be like playing a Scarf Dracovish. I'm not going to keep it and sack it. I'm going to keep looking for the wall breaking opportunities. So it's a huge problem. And I think that's kind of the limit of it. I was looking for tournament games of Mono Normal, and unless I'm mistaken, or unless there's a sample misbalance going on right now, I couldn't really find any. So fighting type Pokemon are common beyond the mono fighting stereotype, and it's a huge problem. So that's going to be something we're looking out for, and I do think it's a bit of a ceiling that you might hit kind of around where we are right now, if I'm being honest. So like top 500, let's say it's 1500-ish elo, and we are about 1400 right now. So this is where it starts to get tricky. You start to run into a lot of fighting type Pokemon beyond the mono fighting type itself. You might run into a mono fighting like we do right now, and this is going to be really tough because sure, but where's got Fluffy, it can maybe tank one. And I should mention this now before we get into it. If you were really desperate to beat it, you could have a Scarf. You could have Scarf Pokemon to beat it and kind of threaten them out afterwards, like a Scarf Indeedee, a Scarf Braviary, a Scarf Ditto is what we have, and that's going to work just fine for the most part. But it's going to be really, really tough. And for example, I'm almost certain that this is a Scarf Terrakion. In Scarf Terrakion, if we get our Ditto in against it, that's a 50-50 on whether we win that speed tie. And even, they shouldn't be risking that in the first place. They should go to their Buzzwole. They should go to their Zapdos Galar. So this is going to be a big struggle. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And I'm actually kind of glad we ran up against it because it is the inherent flaw in mono normal, if I'm being honest. I'd like to, you know, gas it up and be like, oh, mono normal's insane. It's just as broken as mono bug and mono ice. I was gassing those types up, but genuinely I was doing that. Whereas mono normal, I can't lie to you guys, I think it does have significant problems. And yeah, we're going to run into it right now. So if I'm my opponent, Cobalian's very likely leads to Rocker. They could also realize that their Terrakion just completely eliminates me and is going to go for that right now. So I could copy the Cobalion, go to my Ditto here. I could do Diggersby. I don't think they normally run close combat, actually. Then I could go for an EQ and kind of take the kill. That does give a bit of a Zapdos Galar matchup, but I'm at this point, if I'm going to win this one, I am decidedly playing for mistakes from my opponent. If I'm going to win, they have to make mistakes. So yeah, knowing that, I think I'm going to go to Diggersby right now. They do go Terrakion. That's smart on their part because Terrakion in particular just eviscerates this team. And that's good because I'm going to sack something right now. I'm going to go for a Ditto Sweep and hope they misplay it. I think Diggersby is still important. I don't think it's my first call on this sort of sack list here. Heliolisk isn't bad actually because it's pretty fast and it could do some stuff down the road. Blissey, you know, it'd be okay versus Keldeo, but not really because Secret Sword is going to still destroy it. So I think Blissey's the sack. This is going to be a quick one. I don't have to take too long and over fixate on this. As I said, I think it's a big problem. I don't want to dwell on it too long, but if we're gonna have a path to victory right now, it's gonna be copying this Terrakion, wearing down the Buzzwole and the Zapdos Galar. Zapdos Galar is gonna be easy to wear down, but Buzzwole, that one's gonna be tough. And yeah, Beware with its fluffy ability can maybe take one, and I should calc this actually. How does Beware do against the Terrakion? And I think they're scarfed. These things are normally scarfed. 50%. Okay. So I can't really swap into it per se. 1% chance to a KO, so maybe being a little bit too leery, but they should be swapping out in that situation. So again, I don't want to take any chances, but that's actually helpful. I thought Diggersby was more in that. I thought that Beware was more in that like 60 to 70% range, but just under 2 at KO, I will take that to the bank. It's gonna be an important matchup to keep an eye out for. Not gonna love the Keldeo. But Zapdos and Buzzwole and all that stuff, if we get a bulk up going and, you know, we can keep the Drain Puncher doing tons of damage, that would be really important. Meanwhile, our opponent is 60 seconds into the game. They actually turned on the timer and they have yet to click a turn. They had me hoping for a second there that I could possibly come away with a win there. Now, I could actually go to Beware. I was thinking I go to Ditto, copy, get an attack going, but there's no possible reason to go to Buzzwole in that situation. Not to mention it's a choice scarf, so it's a 50-50 speed tie at best. If I win that speed tie, I am situated. But I don't think I can do that because Beware, I can substitute on them, and then I can hopefully wear down Buzzwole, except Beware's not even coming close to wearing down Buzzwole. I'd way rather do the Terrakion. I think I send it. Honestly, I think I send it. Unless I do a double switch on the Buzzwole. Let's give my opponent a lot of credit. Giving them so much credit. How easily do I swap into Buzzwole? I could go to Porygon. All right, I'll play it kind of safe. In retrospect, I think the Ditto might be the best play. If I want a path to victory, I think that'd kind of be the way to go there. Let's just pray my opponent misplays this. Oh my god. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. I don't want to be mean to my opponent, but the thing about Mononormal that I find is it is so prone to people misplaying it. Like it's insane. I don't know what it is, but people are always misplaying this matchup. It's still, look, we still got 5 scary Mononormals to deal with here. And yeah, Blissey's gone. I thought for sure that they would go for So fighting type attack there, but that's gonna do it. Let's play for a miss. Hell yeah. Do I keep you? If they miss, I would rather teleport to Heliolisk. Yes. Oh, actually, they're choice locked. I want to go to Heliolisk right now. I think that's specs damage. Yeah. Oh gosh, almost forgot about that. So I could glare. I could substitute. I think I'll substitute. That way I can pick and choose my best move from there. As they go Cobalion, fair enough. Let's glare right now. Not so advantageous, but it is a fast mon, and there's good chances that we can get them some full paras. The Iron Head, I'm going to go for this again. Hopefully we do get a full para, because this is actually not a bad matchup for us. They do hit us through, a little bit disappointing. But Cobalion gone, 2 down. We're actually up as far as a sack war would go. That's pretty nice. I kept the Porygon. I had a good enough health point where I could sack it. Is this the sample team? Because if so, then I can safely attack. No, this is mine. This is my trash mono fighting team. I also struggle with playing mono fighting, if I'm being honest, guys. Yeah, wait. No, this is the Pixel Pusher one. What's the regular one? Think about all the samples somewhere in my team builder. This, I don't think this thing is scarfed. I think the Terrakion was scarfed. Almost always are. But I gotta play risky if I want to win this one. Oh, wow. And they U-turn. Okay. So rocks would be nice. But now if I can get, it's just beating Buzzwole. It's just beating Buzzwole. If I can get Buzzwole low, it's gonna be really tough without Helios, to be honest. I need that special Thunderbolt. What was the roll on that? I like this salty calc check where you're like, should I have killed that thing? Zapdos Galar. I bet I got bad luck there. 25% chance to Oko. Never mind. I'm thrilled with that damage. Keldeo, you now terrify me. I don't like to see you. I don't want anything to do with you. You can now 6-0 me. Kind of forced to go to my Ditto here. And just start blasting, which it should win because it has more HP than me. It's not good. It's not good. Because Porygon gets hit by any number of moves would kill at this point. Beware, if I'm going to win, it's probably going to be up Beware against Urshifu, and it could probably take 1 hit from Zapdos, but Zapdos at 1% isn't great because I'm not Drain Punching it all back now. But if I can chip this guy and get it to Diggersby quick attack range, that would be pretty spectacular. So let's go for it. They're going to go Buzzwole. Oh, if I had Hydro Pumped, I would have won the game right there. But how could I? How could I? Ah, boy. What are you going to click right now, man? Unless it's a Scarf Buzzwole this whole time, which isn't terrible. I could still chip you. Or I go to Diggersby and Fire Punch. I don't think Buzzwole can Oko me right now, so chip is valuable. That was a lot of damage. Now that's a lot of damage. So Porygon's got to go. I need all these mons except for Porygon. I was hoping to keep it for a Keldeo sack, but what are you going to do? Oh man, if I could kill it with Diggersby, that'd be something. Although, could I just sweep with Buzzwole now? If I copy their stat change? No, because Buzzwole resists itself, but its defenses are low. Oh, I could maybe win with that plus attack it gave itself. I think I outspeed Urshifu. Outspeed Zapdos Galar, I think. Keldeo. It depends if it's max speed. The fact it's running close combat makes me think it's a max speed Buzzwole. Like if it's a defensive Buzzwole, they'd be running Drain Punch and Bulk Up and Roost and maybe Ice Punch or Earthquake. But it seems like some sort of attacking Buzzwole, perhaps even Scarf. If they're Scarf, I want to go to my Beware. If they're Scarf, they might even kill my Beware if they're maybe banded. The safe move is quick attacking with Diggersby. I'm gonna kind of send it. This thing could be Scarfed actually. I would not be surprised if this guy's Scarfed, given by the fact that they're close combating right now. But if I win it, we take you out. Maybe they are Scarfed, the way they went to it right now. Smart of them to do this though. So Beware. If I kill Diggersby. If I win the speed tie, I can revenge kill with Diggersby. And then hopefully be able to finish off with Beware. No, I think I need Ditto for Keldeo. Yeah, I think sacking that Porygon lost it because I needed to sack right now. They were a Scarf. They win the speed tie. Let's do this. I think I lose. I'm actually pretty thrilled with how close this came. That's too bad. That was really close. So, I'm gonna go back and look at that one. What could I have done differently? Again, I did think it kind of came down to some misplays on their part. That should not have been close, to be clear. I keep Heliolisk. I didn't have a swap in there. I could have sacked Porygon at that point and then kept Heliolisk for all these matchups and at least maybe glared. No, because then the Buzzwole would have definitely killed me with it being Scarf. Yeah, I don't know about that one. We're at 21 minutes, huh? I don't have time to look at this over. I gotta get one more game before the live ends. Okay, we'll get one more. I wonder what I could have done differently there. I think I needed a sack at that point. If I'd had a sack and I'd been able to go to my Ditto one more time, I would have won. But I don't know how I would have gotten that done. Okay, so Mono Ice, and a very particular looking Mono Ice too. They have Frostmoth and Cryogonal, who you don't typically see that often. And Avalugg is not super common either, whereas Darmanitan, Galar, and Cloyster and Kyurem, sure, absolute staples right there. So in terms of leads, these guys always, Darmanitan and Galar players are built different. They always lead Darm Galar. I don't know what it is about them. And that's problematic because it's very strong. It's a fair reason to do so. And my Ditto's not good because it's a speed tie in that situation. They kill Helios, they kill Diggersby. Do we survive with Beware? That's an important one to kind of keep in mind right now. Darmanitan, Galar. We do live a Flare Blitz. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, it's a no-brainer. Beware is so important in so many matchups, and Ice is just the tip of the iceberg there, pun intended. I'll go to my Blissey here. Again, kind of a no-brainer matchup. I got the lead matchup wrong there, but one of the only ones where that Beware wasn't going to be useful. As they reveal Dragon Dance. Oh, that's nasty. That's about the worst case scenario for us here. Although my Ditto does look good afterwards. Again, it's kind of the thing. Do I sack you and go for Stealth Rock? Knowing that this guy isn't a special attacker, I don't know if I need Blissey. See how many rolls they get. If I got off rocks, I'd be pretty thrilled. Get out of here. If we keep a sack, that'd be great. But we don't. That's not the end of the world. Okay, do I go to Beware? Do I go to Ditto? Is Icicle Spear a contact move? Icicle Spear. Do we get the defense thing? Okay, so I should live by all accounts. Then we boost back up. And in fact, I'd probably live so easily I should bulk up. They could swap out, but given by the fact they stayed in that turn one, maybe they just got me on the read. We'll see. I'm okay with the bulk up regardless though. Because I don't think I can one hit KO with Drain Punch, and I want to get all my health back in one go here. Plus, not to mention, like, after that, we're looking really situated. We might kind of depend on some Icicle Spear rolls here. We don't love. So if they get a 4-hit, I think I might still be safe with that bulk up. But we'll find out. Maybe get greedy and lose. 2, 3. Oh my god, I love you, Beware. That was terrifying. I think that was still optimal though. I think it would have ended up with less health if I just stayed in here. I'm gonna sub on a possible Toxic. If they body press versus me, this is kind of advantageous for me. Oh, and they roar. Okay, good on them. Good on them. I don't see that very often on Avalugg, but definitely pretty potent. Is this even a 2-hit KO? Not even. It's a rapid spin there. Good play on their part. So Beware's really low now. It's not really a check to a lot of mons. Say body press finally there. It did have it. I'll revenge kill here. I need whatever health I can get on Beware right now. Actually, I might not even be faster, but I'm almost certainly. There's a 10%. So I can't really check Darm Galar at this point. Probably can check Cloyster and get off a Drain Punch. Maybe to go Cryogonal and go for Ice Beam. I'll be very curious to see what this Cryogonal is, knowing that's not necessarily a Rapid Spinner. Darm does come in, and this is tricky because most people don't know about the Flare Blitz effect with Fluffy here. And I'm not sure what to click. Oh, that's the wrong Darmanitan, isn't it? Even a Icicle Crash kills. Okay, that makes my decision a lot easier. I could actually sack something, go to Ditto, go for a bit of sweep of my own, but Flare Blitz won't OHKO Cloyster at this point, whereas it would with these guys. So, guess, do I just sack Heliolisk? It's got use. I'll keep Heliolisk. Maybe sacking Porygon's a misplay. Okay, well, for taking that little damage, never mind. I think they probably go to Cryogonal right now, so I'm going to teleport. Okay, we nailed that play. I could die to like an ice beam. I don't know. If you're running a cryogonal, it's not necessarily a rapid spinner, which I don't think this one is. I think you're probably using a fun offensive set. If I had to kind of read my opponent, I think you're just having fun and doing a fun, cool set. And if that's the case, probably an ice beam attacker. I don't know. I'm not up to date on the cryogonal metagame here. It's left me in the dirt. But if Beware gets full health, that'd be fantastic, because realistically, it's not doing so much versus a lot of other matchups. They go to Cloister, actually, which is the dream for us. Unless they're Hydro Pump, I just go for a second one right now and keep myself in a good, healthy mix right now. They Icicle Spear for some chip. They could flinch me right now. They do not, but we are still going to be outside of the range of checking Darmanitan and Galar, which is frustrating. But now that that Cloister's dead, I might let my Beware die. Because A, if they U-turn, I'm getting it all back. And B, if they Flare Blitz, I go to my Ditto. Although it's probably Scarf Darmanitan and Galar. Do I really want to bet the game on a 50-50? Not at all. Not at all. I think they might U-turn here. Oh, but they do overpredict. Ice Punch is interesting. So I think I win. I kind of caught them on that play. Frostmoth does have special attacks that can break Beware. But, oh, Dazzling Gleam. I didn't know I got access to that. Oh, there you go. What's the best way to beat you? Probably with just a glare heal sort of thing. I know Cryogonal's got crazy SpDef. So I'll just chip this thing down. If they go for a Quiver Dance sweep on me, they're paralyzed. My Ditto won't be when it comes in. It's gonna be pretty hard for me to lose this matchup. Yes, please continue to boost on me. I beg you. I'm gonna substitute as like a bait. Yeah, keep boosting on me. Yeah, keep boosting. Keep doing it. I want it all the way up here. I'm all the way up. I'm imagining that my Ditto will be able to break it afterwards. Maybe not. Maybe they'll have Roost or something. If it's a bulky Roost set, which actually might be given by the leftovers, I could totally lose this game. I don't think I really need Heelless for any other matchup. And we will see as they reveal. Yeah, resist ice. So I gotta break with Bug Buzz right now. Honestly, the thing's so SpDeft. Oh, I could totally lose this. I could totally lose this. But they don't have Roost, thank God. That was the big concern. And they're paralyzed. And they get a SpDef drop. Helps us. I got 2 Bug Buzzes left. Can we do it? Not quite. But I'll just swap back in and out, honestly. As long as they don't have Roost. That was where it got scary. Okay, so we're situated. That was the end of the normal type live. I will honestly probably do something very cursed. I'm not sure if I'll get some blowback on this one. I'm thinking I'm going to do some Mono Stall next time. A member of my Discord and my stream instructs. They have this very cool mononormal stall that I'm thinking I'm gonna give a shot. I've never ever played stall on the channel because I know how unpopular it is, but maybe this trust me, this one's pretty interesting. So let me know if you'd like to see that. Keep voting on what type you want to see next after the next live. And yeah, that's gonna be that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time.